Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd can...
talk film! I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting, fabulous, amazing, spectacular episode of Real Nerds Podcast. I am Ryan. I am joined by Brad.
Hey, what's up?
Every week, we see a new movie and we podcast our experience.
I said, what's up?
You. That's what's up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro. That's how I roll. You want to fight?
Yeah, I do. Let's fight.
Good. It's on. And we're done. And we're back. Brad kicked my ass, so that's where we're at now.
Yeah. You're now the co-host of this podcast.
Fuck.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Thunderbolts. Stay tuned, where we'll recommend the film or not, play the trailer, and then spoil it. We also talk about nerd news and films we saw throughout the week. Hey, Brad, and good news.
Oh, yeah, what?
We got approved for our booth at Denver Fan Expo.
Yay!
I didn't know if we missed it, so I went into our email and I typed in Fan Expo Denver, and they approved our booth last year, about 2 weeks earlier. And I go, oh man, maybe they really didn't like the slasher theme we were going for.
Not so sure about these guys.
Yeah, but if you're listening and you didn't see my announcement, this is our 13th Fan Expo. So
appropriately.
Yeah, we are basing this off of Friday the 13th, or horror movie camp movies, but specifically Friday the 13th, and it's going to be called Camp Real Nerds. So make sure you see us. We will have a camp game you can play around the con, and I've already lassoed my wife into helping me with prizes, Brad.
Oh, sweet.
I thought for our scavenger hunt, which we're going to do, once they come back and complete it, they'll get a little s'more pack to take home that will have their abilities to make a s'more. Or if you're on the floor and you don't want to toast it, there'll be a Hershey bar, a marshmallow, and graham crackers. Then you don't have to toast it. Whatever you want to do.
That's adorable. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I thought with the stickers, we'll put a sticker in there too.
Yeah.
So,
which have arrived. I have them in my possession.
Oh, you have? Sweet.
Yeah.
They're really cool. They are a take on Friday the 13th.
A small handful of them glow in the dark.
Ooh. Oh my. So when we get a better idea of the floor layout, we'll put together a scavenger hunt for everybody to tag us on Instagram, Facebook, X, Blue Sky, Threads, whatever you want to do. But once you complete it, you come back and we will hand you a sticker and a s'more pack. So while supplies last.
Yeah.
Just in case this, I always laugh because, last year we had our pizza boxes and you and I have done this enough. We said, you know what, we should probably only get 10.
We don't be stuck with a bunch of pizza boxes. Yeah.
And we sold out in one day. So
yeah. We're scrambling to be like, how do we get more really fast?
Yeah. So, we'll do our best to have a lot. And our booth's going to be really cool as always. It'll be enough. It'll be fun for you to take pictures there. And we just look forward to it. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's yeah. I love the idea of walking by. You get like a little camp initiation packet, which has the scavenger hunt and stickers or whatever, and then you go off to your thing and then come back and get some s'mores.
Yeah,
that's great. And then we also have our panel.
Correct. The panel will be highlighting your horror movie something. It's very generic right now because we're still hammering out the details, and we don't know which day we're doing. Last year I was concerned because
I bet it's Sunday.
was 4th of July at 6 p.m. and to our surprise, it was very well attended. In fact, there was tons of people there. And if you go to our website right now, you will find a dedicated fan expo link, which we had before, but you kind of revamped it. And it's easy to find stuff there, all our interviews. And I'm guessing the panel will be up there soon, Brad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did give me that. I gotta put that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we ran into a problem with our server, and some of the interviews just took forever to get up. But I think we've worked out all the kinks, and you'll be able to listen to all of them now.
Yeah, we had to hire a hacker to go through all this code and rescue all the interviews. That's why it took 2 years to do.
Yeah. So yeah, they're up, they're ready to go, and I hope you enjoy it. And we look forward to seeing you this year. I guess that was the nerd news this week, but I just put it in the front because I was excited.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to worry about those anymore. They're up there. We're all caught up. And not as embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not. We got it all squared away. Between rebuilding the website and stuff is just a nightmare for you.
Which, again, I spent a lot of time getting all the old interviews up, and then we had the new website revamp, and now those again are I have to go pull those back out and modernize them. So if you were at Comic-Con or Horror Fest or whatever, 10 years ago, it's it's hard to get to your interview again. So sorry, but we'll get around to it.
Yeah, we'll fix it. The new website design and stuff. It's your realm, but I know it's a pain in the ass. I appreciate you doing the hard work. But now you can go there and listen to the stuff. So, hey, good stuff. This week on Real Nerds, Brad, speaking of Comic-Cons, we saw Thunderbolts. Do you recommend Thunderbolts?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. And I'm really impressed with what the villain is. So yeah, I don't want to say we're back on track to fun Marvel movies again like they used to be. Not that the recent ones were that bad, but I feel like it's more in line with the stuff we loved from the phase 1 and 2, I guess.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. Because you're right. It's not that I enjoyed Brave New World. There's elements of the Eternals I loved. But this movie felt more cohesive than those ones. That it had a tone, it knew what it wanted to be, and it delivered. And, the new trailer that they put out, I think helped, where they had a lot of people from the outside come in. They highlighted the DP who did Hereditary and, A24 films. So it's kind of cool. And I think that maybe helped with the tone of the film because it's fun, but it's also very dark. And being a fan of comic books, I was curious to see if they were actually going to do the bad guy part, and they did. Here's the trailer for Thunderbolts.
Your subordinates will be reported to DoorDash HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
Milena? Hold on! Elena!
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about the wait. It was an important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So field. But why do you ask this? What brings you here?
There is something wrong with me. An emptiness. I'm just drifting. And I don't have purpose. I thought throwing myself into work was the answer. With your feet on the air, your head on the ground.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. You were all sent?
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Robbing government labs. Contract kills.
Yeah, so?
So, someone wants us gone. What the hell?
We're brought up with this belief that there are good guys and there are bad guys.
What's the plan?
This could get messy.
But eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys and there are worse guys and nothing else. Look at you. So adorable.
Don't worry, she's bulletproof. What happened to bulletproof? It's bulletproof-ish.
Is that Bucky?
That's not good.
Thunderbolts follows the C-level Marvel MCU people. Well, I wouldn't say...
spoilers, the new Avengers follows.
That's right. The asterisk, which they never revealed until about a week, until the end of the film, stands for the new Avengers, which is really fun. I guess really Yelena is really the only kind of A-list one because she was great in Black Widow, Florence Pugh, and she totally continues being a freaking rock star in these movies. And it follows her, and she's been recruited by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who I've said it before, Veep is one of my most favorite TV shows, and I freaking love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She is just awesome. Yeah. Are you a fan of hers, Brad?
Yeah. I haven't watched Veep that much, but she's been on a lot of great things, and in this movie she's, pretty good. Trying to look up her character name, sorry.
It's Valentina.
Yeah, she makes a big deal about her last name, correcting that congressperson. Yelena's kind of, she works for Valentina, but she's kind of, I don't know, tired of being too good at it.
Yeah.
And she kind of is like looking for something more. And so, she tries to break away from Valentina, but Valentina has a plan to kill all of her assets.
Yeah, because so Valentina now is the Secretary of Defense, and she is trying to cover up all her loose ends for this company she runs. And you got kind of a little sprinkle of who she was in Black Widow, and then she appears again in Wakanda Forever. And this one, she's definitely a main character, and she's under pressure from Congress because they think she's shady, which she is. So she devises a plan with all her loose ends are all these super villains, anti-heroes. And her plan is to have each one of them go to an underground base to kill the other one. And then she's going to basically incinerate them down there. When they get down there, rather shockingly, because she's on all the posters, the Taskmaster is killed very quickly.
Yeah, like I guess if you're a Taskmaster fan, like I for the whole movie, I thought she was gonna pop back up somehow, somewhere. But yeah, they let her. Yeah, they did you dirty if you're a Taskmaster fan, because I know people are already upset with like her reimagining as a character already, and then they just like offer.
Well, and it's classic Marvel marketing. I mean, she was in the trailers a lot more.
Yeah, they showed some screen grabs where she's just like digitally added.
Mm-hmm. Remember they did that with Spidey in Civil War, where he was actually there, but they took him out in some of the early trailers.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of the same thing. And they meet Bob, who was experimented on, given a super soldier serum, and he becomes the Sentry, who was almost Superman-like.
Is it in the comics? Is Sentry really Bob?
Yeah,
that's nuts. Considering like he played Bob in Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
That is true. Yeah, and so the bad guy is Bob, who's actually the Sentry and the Void, and that was the big twist when the Sentry comic came out. Was they didn't let on that Sentry and the Void were the same person. And, Yelena is struggling finding her place in the world, and everybody is. David Harbour as the Red Guardian is awesome.
Yeah, he just wants to be a part of something. Like, he too is kind of lost and just kind of sitting on his ass waiting to be like called into a higher calling.
And, you have Bucky, the Winter Soldier. It looks like he's going to rescue them, but he's actually going to take them in.
It's weird. Like, I know they set him up as being a congressman in Brave New World. Yeah. But he's he was like a Russian asset and an assassin, and
he's definitely killed people.
But like
he killed the Starks.
Yeah, it's like, when did he get elected? And then like he's ready to like not do the job anymore either. It's like, why even like start that thread at all?
Yeah, it's interesting because it does have a cool dynamic though in this film where he's uncomfortable and out of his league being part of Congress, but as soon as he's able to be the Winter Soldier, quote unquote, he's back to being who he is. And even Wyatt Russell as, Captain America Light, he's great in this movie.
His threat is that he's kind of not telling everyone that his like family life has fallen apart, and that's why he's kind of looking for redemption.
And this movie touches my wife, who doesn't really like comic book movies, loved this movie. And I think it's because it touches on, what it means to be a part of something, and depression and being suicidal and finding your place in the world,
Yeah. And they're almost literally fighting depression.
Yeah, literally that's the point of it is, they're fighting because the Void if you strip it all away, the Void is you. The Void is what is in your life, which leads you to depression because, when the Sentry turns into the Void and he's, eradicating people and sending them to this alternate world where they have to relive
their
their most traumatic moments over and over and over and over again. I mean, I don't know if you felt this, but I started getting like uncomfortable in my screening where Yelena had to keep on witnessing her luring her friend out to be murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Because Florence Pugh plays it so well. You feel her in that moment, and you have to relive it over and over again. And when she finds Bob and he's just hanging out in his room, and he I can't remember the line exactly, but he says, "This is a safe place and I can hide up here because he won't come in here." And he's talking about the void, which is himself. And he's dealing with split personality. I mean, it deals with so much. And I think that's why this movie is so great. Is, yeah, there's the superhero part, and, there's this moment where they're fighting in New York, but it deals with your own personal struggles. And the part, where Bob is beating up the void, and Elena has to tell him to stop because, he's just doing it to himself and he just has to be strong. I don't know. There's just moments that got me. When she's running away and Red Guardian catches up to her after she basically is super mean to everybody. And she just pours her heart out, man. I don't know. There's just great moments in this film.
Yeah. That whole idea, I really think what hell really is like when you die, it's you have to live with you just have to relive your memories over and over again. Yeah. And so it's like the incentive is like to try to live as good a life as possible. But if you don't, and you have to basically live in a shame room for eternity. So yeah, it was very much like, damn, this movie's I love that it's not just some big alien entity coming to the planet to wreak havoc on New York again. Century does that a little bit. But I'm glad in the trailers, people weren't just turned to dust again. It was oh, this has a real purpose of this alternate world where they are forced to face their worst memories, Yeah,
because that's, when you first saw the little trailer and then you saw it in the context of the film, you thought he was just eradicating people, Yeah,
and how do you fight that?
Yeah.
So
you can't. And then it's clever that they're not actually dying. He's just putting them in the void. Yeah. It's really fascinating.
And it's really shocking when I think John Walker saves that little girl and then she just vanishes and you don't know what the void is yet. You're just oh my God, the balls on Marvel to kill that girl.
Totally.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, it's dark.
Yeah, and Valentina bought Avengers Tower. They definitely laid the groundwork, and I feel stupid. Man. And the twist at the end, there's this great moment where Valentina is on the street and the Thunderbolts are saving everybody. And she has this really quick moment of, oh, I have an idea to save myself. And, the reveal at the end where it looks like they're going to chase her down and, put her into custody. And she goes past that barrier and the press is all there and she introduces them as the new Avengers. Oh, man, brilliant.
Although I'm just I don't know why they hesitated at all. What she put them through, I would have not stopped for the cameras at all. I would have been
no, you just fucking kill her.
I don't know, or put her in custody at least, but I would not entertain anything she's saying. Just pick her up and just haul her ass out of there.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess something I didn't like about it, it seems like the characters get around large distances really fast somehow. It this doesn't feel like a movie that takes a place over a week or so, but most of the characters start in New York or in New York and Washington DC, but the whole fortress is out in Utah or something, right? And so Red Guardian drove from Baltimore all the way to Utah in less than a day. Even if he stayed up all night, he couldn't have done that. And then he finds them in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he does.
They're not even at the base anymore. They're just wandering the desert. And they just happens to be on the same road he's on at the same time. Like, I don't know if you've driven out in Utah and Nevada or whatever, but yeah, I don't think he would just find them like that. So there's a lot of conveniences like that.
Yeah, I
Kinda
let that stuff slide.
Like, yeah, it's lazy, but
It is. But as long as I'm entertained, I don't care.
yeah. And then, like, I guess if Valentina is like the new Secretary of Defense, like, who replaced Harrison Ford, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't think they answered that question.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, because I guess they'd have to invoke the 25th Amendment, right? That he's unfit to lead. Because technically he can't be removed unless he's impeached.
Well, I guess maybe his whoever's vice president was just became president. So yeah, I guess Valentina was probably part of Ross's cabinet, right? Anyway.
Yeah.
So she didn't go. Guess. Yeah, she didn't just get added. She was already there. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, then they had the end. They teased the Fantastic Four in Doomsday.
Yeah,
and I read online that the Russos directed that, and you can kind of tell the color palette's a little darker. But yeah, it's too that I thought the end credit scene was really fun, and even the one with Red Guardian being on the Wheaties box, I thought was great.
Yeah, that finally explains the marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just like the idea that the new Avengers are in a copyright battle with Sam Wilson's Avengers,
yeah,
which really haven't been assembled yet, but
yeah, and that Alexi's idea is just to have Avengers with a Z.
Yeah, which is really not that bad.
No, it's pretty. I'm on board. So yeah, it's good stuff. I had a lot of fun. I always love going into movies, and even though I knew what this movie could be, that it delivered on that, and then it also had some surprises for me.
Yeah, and they really took some time to develop the characters themselves, because like Captain Marvel, she's had 2 movies. I really don't I really don't know, in a deep level, what she's about,
Mm-hmm.
Or who else? Yeah, even Sam Wilson, he's never really had time to shine on his own as Captain America. He's
yeah.
The last movie was all plot driven. It was about him versus Ross. It was never about his emotional core,
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they spend more time really digging into the characters as they go forward.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do. I said this about the Snyderverse, is sometimes it felt like some of the characters didn't earn our sympathy, and with Marvel they always did. And if you're going to replace Captain America and Iron Man, the characters that people love, you got to have movies like this, because I think that's why the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are so successful, is because you care about the characters first, and then their hijinks are just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
So yeah, Corinne sent in her thoughts on the Thunderbolts, and you're going to hear them right now.
Hey nerds, Corinne here for another installment of Showtime, where I tell you all about something cool I've been watching lately. I'm coming to you fresh this week. I just got out of Thunderbolts literally 10 minutes ago. Just drove home, and I'm just trying to wrap my brain around this movie, because in some ways I liked it, and in some ways I'm like, I don't know. I think I'd give it a B. Coming directly out of it. I'll say it was different. It was not like a typical Marvel movie. It was incredibly dark. A lot of references to, kind of implied. They don't really reference it directly, or, but there's a lot of allusions to suicide, to bipolar disorder, just mental health in general, but especially those sorts of issues. But oh man, yeah, I was like, it sounds so weird to say it, but I'm like, this feels very anime. And especially, like, there's this whole arc in Naruto, or I guess it was kind of, like, part of an arc, where Naruto has to confront his, like, darker half, or, like, his, like, kind of, like, the manifestation of, like, all of his darker thoughts and things like that, like, his kind of evil side, quote-unquote, if you will, or darker side. And I honestly, like, there's, I guess, mild spoilers, but there's a scene like that in this movie, in Thunderbolts, and I kind of thought it was going to go the same way that the Naruto scene did, and it did not. And it was like, okay. I'm trying to think of what I can talk about without spoiling it, because, I don't know, like, the structure of the movie, like, some of it worked for me, but I do think that the writing and some of the acting, and I mean writing as in, like, the dialogue, like, a lot of the dialogue was trying really hard to be funny, and it was not funny, and some of the acting was trying too hard to, I don't know if be funny or cool, but it just, a lot of it felt like it was trying too hard, and I'm sorry, I don't know what all I can say that I've seen Julia Louis-Dreyfus in outside of the MCU. I know she was in Seinfeld back in the day. She like guest starred on 30 Rock a couple times, but other than that, I'm like, I don't know what I can say that she's done. She was probably like in rom-coms or something back in the day, but yeah, I don't know if I like her acting choices, or maybe it's the directors or something, but I'm like, I think it's her. Like, this is just the route she's chosen to take the character, or producers, somebody, because every single MCU project she's been in, I'm like, I hate her character. I don't like her choices as an actor for this character. She's very hammy and very just like she's trying too hard to be cool. And again, maybe that's the point and I'm missing it, but so in the movie Thunderbolts, because she's only in Black Widow at the very end, she's only in the post-credit scene, she's only in a little bit of Falcon Winter Soldier, and she is in Wakanda Forever, but I think she has like maybe 10 minutes of screen time. But this is the movie where this is the project where she definitely has the most runtime. Like, she gets, basically, I would say she's like a co-lead, or she's essentially the main villain of the movie. And the problem is they try so hard to make her smart, or, she's too smart to be dumb, and she's too dumb to be smart, if that makes sense. Like, she's in this weird gray zone where I cannot take her seriously either as this kind of, like, dumb villain who just kind of, like, lucks their way into all the bullshit, or as this, like, smart, scheming villain who's just, like, 10 steps ahead of everybody else. A very, like, Lex Luthor type of thing. But, oh, man, like, there was this one scene, again, mild spoilers, but there's this one scene where she's trying to trick this one character into, like, very, very much, like, manipulating them, trying to get them on her side, and be this kind of, like, parental figure. And it reminded me so much of this two-part episode in the animated Justice League, where Lex Luthor tricks a Mazo into, Mazo's this robot who has, like, the ability to copy other people's superpowers. And Lex Luthor basically tricks a Mazo into, like, working for him, into becoming his pawn, where he's like, oh, I see you as, like, family or whatever. He's very manipulating him, but it works. And not like you as the audience believe him, but you can understand why a Mazo believes him. In this movie, I cannot say the same for, these characters. And I'm like, there was one scene where Val is trying to trick this character and manipulate them. And I'm like, I don't get, why would that work on them? Like, all of a sudden, boom, like, there's a switch flipped, and it's like, no, Val is super awesome. And I'm like, what? Why would you think that? She's evil. She was trying to, yeah. It did not work for me. I'm sorry. I don't take Val seriously as a villain. I don't like her as a character. Every scene she was in, it was like, just nails on a chalkboard. I was like, just shut the fuck up. I don't want to see you on screen. Just, again, I don't know if to blame this on Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I'm going to try to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was the directors or the producers or something. This is how they want the character to be. But I fucking hate her. And, I mean, you know, there's some villains it's like you kind of love to hate them. No, I hate her, and I don't want her in any more MCU projects, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's definitely going to pop up more, based on what happens at the end of the movie. But, yeah. I don't know, like, I guess I can't talk about the things I like as much without going into more spoilers, but those are just my initial thoughts, is I'm like, I can't take Val seriously as a villain. I'm sorry. I liked the whole, well, I don't know how much I want to say about okay. Alright, just fuck it. Spoilers for Thunderbolts, okay? 3, 2, 1, The Void. Okay, so, I mean, obviously we knew, I mean, it was pretty obvious early on that Bob was going to end up being, like, the bad guy, the Void, the Sentry, or whatever. Like, I'm glad that they didn't try to, like, trick us or make it like, in the third act, like, oh, surprise, like, Bob is actually a super power person. You know, you figure it out pretty early on that he has superpowers and that there's more to him than meets the eye. And I kind of liked his dynamic with Yelena and this kind of bringing each other back from the brink kind of vibe that they had. I'm not shipping it. I mean, not like romantically. I'm fine with them being friends. That's cool. But yeah, their dynamic was definitely the heart of the movie. And I liked that. You know, I thought that they had good platonic chemistry. I liked the scene with Yelena and Alexei where she's telling him about, like, you know, like, I come home and I just scroll through my phone and I think about all the terrible things I did. And he tells her, he's like, you only see the bad and I see you for all that you are, the good and the bad. And I was like, that was a good scene. And then, yeah, Yelena's like, oh yeah, it was a good scene. This movie is self-aware in, like, sometimes I think it works. There's the scene where they're talking about, like, their power sets or their abilities. And they're saying how, like, so most of us punch and shoot. And I'm like, yeah, that's the fucking problem. And I'm like, okay, I did appreciate that they brought Ghost back, because one of the things that I remember from Ant-Man 2, or Ant-Man and the Wasp, was that Ghost was so cool. And she's basically the villain of the movie. But I was like, it's unfortunate because she has really cool powers. She can turn invisible and she can turn intangible. We don't see anybody like that in the Marvel, nobody else is like that in the MCU so far. Obviously, we're going to get Invisible Woman later this year, but, yeah, I'm like, why? She's got half of the powers of Jean Jones, and yet we get so many fucking superheroes in this universe that just punch and shoot, or they, you know, it's like Yelena technically doesn't have superpowers. She's just a very, very good, you know, trained assassin. But it's like three of the Thunderbolts have some version of super strength or some super soldier serum. Okay, that's it. We got bulletproof shields. We've got a lot of them punch and shoot, and it's like, that's it. Wow. It's like, at least Ghost does something different. She can turn invisible. She can go through walls. It's so cool. Why is she so underutilized? Again, I'm glad she's in the movie. And poor Taskmaster, I felt bad for her. She gets killed at the very beginning. But I'm like, hey, Ghost is around. Ghost gets to do some stuff, even if, again, they sideline her for a decent chunk of the movie. But, because they spend so much time with... I also don't like John Walker. I'm sorry. I don't like him. I know they tried to give him something, and I appreciated that he had a little growth. And you see, like, he's not, like, this terrible, terrible person. That he does have a little bit of selflessness, and he does want to be this hero and help people and do the right thing. But he's also just a giant jackass, and I can't get on board with that. I'm sorry. he's such a fucking saltine cracker of a character. I mean that, not like, oh, he's white. I mean that in, like, he's bland. He's bland and he's stale, and I don't give a shit about him. It's like, Yelena, there's at least some depth. And I think Florence Pugh just acts her ass off in the scene. Or in the movie. And in some scenes in particular. But, and then Ghost, I'm like, they don't give her much to do, but at least she gets to do something different. Same with Sentry or Bob or whatever. It's like, why do we spend so much of this movie focused on John Walker, who I don't give a shit about, and Val, who I also don't give a shit about. Bucky, I'm like, we could have done more with Bucky. I honestly would have been okay with doing more with the Red Guardian, although, I don't know, I think they gave him just the right amount of screen time. Any more than that, and I think he would have been annoying. And I mean, he kind of was annoying. I mean, he was right on the brink, but I think yeah. I feel bad, because I'm like, I think David Harbour is having fun with the character. And I did like the scene where he saves a little girl. And oh shit, that was so fucked up that she just then immediately turns into a shadow. But, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I love the scene with him and Yelena under the overpass or whatever it was, but yeah. So, yeah, like I said, some aspects of the movie worked for me, some didn't. The end credits scene, like the not the mid credits, but the post credit scene, honestly, I'm like, okay, the fact that they tried to pull the rug out from under us. And they're like, oh, these are the new Avengers. I'm like, what? I liked the idea of them being the Thunderbolts. That they were kind of these anti-heroes. They were doing their own thing. They were trying to find their redemption. And now it's like, I didn't want them to be the Suicide Squad. I wanted them to be like the Avengers, but they don't necessarily have to be in the public spotlight, if that makes sense. I don't know. I guess I don't know what I was expecting. But yeah, I was just I wanted them to be their own team. And that basically Bucky's like, okay, you all get a second chance, like, just like I did. So let's all make something of it and let's help people. Right? I figured Bucky was going to, like, formally start leading them. And now it seems like Val is kind of their leader or something. Yeah, I was like, how is this gonna work? Wait, Bucky just got elected to Congress and now he's gonna be leading a new team of superheroes? Like, how's that gonna work? Seems like a conflict of interest or something, but yeah. Okay, I've ranted about this enough, although I could go on, but I'll leave you with my thoughts there. So, take care, guys. I'll talk to you again next time about something. Bye.
To the surprise of no one, Corinne really kind of liked it, really kind of didn't like it, and she compared it to an anime. So, I'm waiting for her to have an original thought.
Damn.
She talked about
fired.
Nataro. What is it?
Naruto.
I always don't know how. It's the Naturo.
I think it's Naruto. Yeah.
Naruto. Okay, sweet. She talks about that. I don't know what she's talking about. And then she talks about how she doesn't understand how Valentina is always 10 steps ahead. I guess she's not really paying attention to who the character is. She's pretty conniving.
Yeah, she's the top level of government. She has all the, assets. She's got everything at her disposal. Yeah. And
it's really easy to give Corinne a hard time because she's not here to defend herself. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take that. No, but thanks for sending it in, Corinne. I always like different people's point of views, even if I don't like yours. Count it. I keep on giving her a hard time, hoping she's just going to send in a Showtime or, Catching the Classics and just rips me a new asshole. It hasn't happened yet.
She's going to Showtime where she watches Evil Dead or something and doesn't like it, and you have to hear about it.
Yeah, right. You think she's actually going to see a movie like that? She's too much of a baby, too. I mean, only real people that aren't afraid of movies will see it. Do you think I can pressure her into doing it? Or
no.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. One day she'll give it to the peer
Not
pressure.
even for the joke. She won't do it.
Nope.
Too scary.
Yep.
Not that scary.
No, it's pretty silly. We see films throughout the week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Brad, take me on your cinematic journey this week.
Oh gosh, yeah, a lot of stuff. I watched The Surfer, which is Nicolas Cage's
What?
water surfing. That's my board. Give it back. Yeah. Nicolas Cage plays some Australian dude without an Australian accent.
Does he do an accent? Is it awesome?
Nope. He just lives there. He lived there as a child, and his family sold the house, and he's been on this crusade to buy it back. And he finally has the money to do it, so he can get back to surfing on the beach that he grew up on. But in the 20, 30 years since then, these other new guys have taken over the beach and made it locals only, mate. Even though it's a public beach.
Hey, we don't like your kind around here, mate.
Exactly.
I didn't know if you're wearing a wire.
Yeah, Statham rises out of the ocean and takes him on.
Even though I'm pretty sure he's English, right?
Yeah, he's English. Anyway, yeah, so there's these toxic masculine dudes who've taken over the beach, won't let anyone, any outsiders enjoy it. And Nicolas Cage really wants to show his son the beach, and he's sends his kid home and waits overnight to kind of, I guess, approach them or whatever, and they just keep messing with him, and then eventually they start gaslighting him into thinking that he's this homeless guy, and he isn't this real estate agent or whatever, and he starts to lose his mind, and it's really about those guys. They're there to break down who you are as a man to the basic your basest instincts and rebuild you as the ultimate man.
Now so you're a man.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just this weird fever dream of him, just breaking down and then using them to help him build himself back up, and then and it doesn't quite go to plan, and crazy shit happens, and yeah, it's weird. It's a weird movie. Yeah. I also watched the Money Mystery movie. I was like, this is the first time I'm going to see the Alamo version. I usually go to Regal.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I bet the Alamo has some weird, crazy thing. And it was Jane Austen Wrecked My Life. I was like, motherfucker.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's it's not a bad movie, but it's just not my vibe.
Yeah.
It's about this woman who works in a bookstore. She aspires to be a writer, but really hasn't gotten anywhere with it. Yeah. And she has this guy who's her friend, and he takes her writing and submits it to a Jane Austen estate contest, and they pick her writing to come to the Jane Austen estate and enjoy a week of Jane Austen themed stuff, and do a little writing, and then do a presentation of her most recent work. And reluctantly she goes, and basically, I haven't watched a lot of Jane Austen movies, but it kind of feels like she plays out exactly how those stories play out, but in modern times. So she gets there, and it's immediately a shit show, and she gets picked up by the heir to Jane Austen, this handsome Hugh Grant light looking dude.
Motherfucker.
And they don't like each other from the start. He's arrogant, and she's kind of messy and bossy. And so, they're at odds. But as the week goes on, they grow attracted to each other. And the guy friend from the bookstore surprises her, and now there's a love triangle. Yeah. And yeah. And as I was watching, it's this just feels like either Emma or Pride and Prejudice is playing out. Yeah. But reimagined is this girl from France. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, I was like, oh, great. That's okay. And it's all in French, with light actual uses of English throughout. So
Sacre le bleu.
Yeah, see a lot of subtitle reading. Let's see. Yeah, and the last thing I saw this week was they've switched from David Lynch to Meryl Streep at the Mayan.
Oh, fun.
The month of Meryl Streep. So I finally saw Out of Africa.
Oh, that one's okay.
Which is the best picture of 1985. I'd argue it's Back to the Future.
Well, you do know that they would never give it to Back to the Future, even though it deserved it.
Yeah, no, definitely in 1985, adults liked not those types of movies. They liked traveling to the exotic world of Africa and the will they won't they relationship of Robert Redford and Meryl Streep living in Africa. But yeah, it's an okay movie. It's definitely like I don't know, like Forrest Gump, where it like just kind of takes place over a bunch of eras, and you just kind of watch her try to like have this coffee farm, and it doesn't go well.
It's one of those movies where it's not a bad movie. It's just there.
Yeah, you're just watching like this. I think it's like based on the real life journals of whoever her character was. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
best
it's,
movie of the year.
Yeah.
Super memorable.
I guess too, it's like it's the cinematography. Like you get to see like, a lot of like natural, like real African locations. So kudos to them. I don't think they'd do that today. They would just be like, "Oh, we're gonna shoot in Venezuela and make it seem like it's Africa or Vancouver." I don't know. So yeah, that's what I watched.
This week, my kid, I love taking him to movies I love or showing him movies I love, but it also terrifies me to show him movies I love, because if he doesn't like them, I'll be devastated. So he's been studying the American Revolution, and one of my favorite films is The Patriot. So I asked him if he wanted to watch it, and I warned him. I said, "Hey, bud, it's 3 hours long and it's really cool, and you can't say anything bad about it because then Daddy will lock you outside." And so I rewatched The Patriot and I love it, and my boy loved it. So we had a bonding moment watching The Patriot, and it was fantastic. Are you a fan of The Patriot, Brad? I don't think I've ever asked you.
Yeah, I liked it. Not as much as you do, but I remember when it came out, it was pretty badass.
It's really great. It was right on the precipice of Heath Ledger leaving the teen heartthrob and becoming a serious actor, because he's great in the movie. And in the commentary of it, they actually mention that he turned down a lot of jobs because he did 10 Things I Hate About You. I think it was 98. And this came out in 2000. So, he didn't really want to do that stuff anymore. And he took this job, and it kind of catapulted him into being, more of an action drama guy. And obviously he went to Brokeback Mountain and Dark Knight and all that stuff. So, it's just a cool movie, epic battle scenes. And then we make fun of the British. So I'm always down for that. And that's all I watched this week.
Really?
Yeah, I've been playing some video games, and I've been having fun with that. The Indiana Jones game on PlayStation 5 is awesome. And I'm trying to finish Star Wars Outlaws, which is also really fun. Next week, we're seeing Clown in a Cornfield. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you at the movies.
A real nerd knows who shot a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast, Twitter and Instagram at Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it!